Hey guys, Dave Moore, iDaveMoore.com. As you can see, the title of the video is My Glock Exploded. Well, that might be a little exaggeration, but it did happen. I was at the range on Friday and I was shooting pew, pew, pew. Something strange and awkward happened, which kind of put me into a sense of confusion and bewilderment, and I was wondering why my hands kind of hurt. Well, what had happened was I had case head separation. I had gotten some ammo from my buddy who reloads. It was 40 cal, 180 grain. I was shooting, I had a case head separation, which caused basically the gun to, in a sense, explode. Though it's pretty much fine. So I looked into it. There was a guy at the range who was shooting, and he was obviously a reloader because he was shooting all his spent casing into a fishing net and standing on a tarp. So I asked him, I wanted to verify that it wasn't something that I did to my gun or that I was doing at the time. And he said, well, yeah, looks like you have some case head separation. And I'll show some photos here. Basically what it is, especially in high pressure cartridges such as 40 cal or 357 SIG, the brass just can't handle it, and sometimes it will explode. In a sense, explode. It just pretty much pops. He said, yeah, it's common, it happens. Not to everybody, but it does happen. It's not like it's an extreme rarity. So I go home and I do some research on my own, and basically the phenomenon is called Glock bulge. A Glock has a partially unsupported chamber, and that's why it will feed any ammo that you give it. It'll feed spent casings, it'll feed bent casings, it'll feed fucking rocks. It feeds everything, and that's what I love about it. But in turn, the chamber is partially unsupported. If you look into a loaded Glock, you can kind of see some brass in there. That is the unsupported part of the chamber. And Glock bulge is that little bulge by the rim of the casing after you shoot it. And I've seen this before. I've looked at spent casings of mine and they have a little bulge in them. And I just figured it was normal. I'm not a reloader. I really didn't know. But I've seen that multiple times. Pretty much every casing I look at it. Luckily, dies, if you reload, the dies do reshape that and make it straight walled again. But if you keep reloading the same brass, eventually it is going to pop. And with a high pressure cartridge, it is definitely more likely to occur. So having a partially unsupported chamber, or a sloppy chamber, so to speak, and having a high pressure cartridge is going to happen. Well, it did happen to me, and the only really downfall that occurred after that is my extractor blew out of the gun. It is broken in half. And the magazine got torn up a little bit, and my feelings are kind of hurt. But other than that, I'm fine. Nothing bad happened, except now it's kind of an eye-opener that 40 cal can't do that, especially reloaded. So I'm kind of glad I started to switch to 9mm, because having that happen to me, it's just one more reason why 9mm might be a better choice. It's not like it really scared me too much, it just confused me. And you can see in the video that I'm going to add on to this that there's a sense of bewilderment, like what the fuck just happened? Well, that's what happened. Unsupported chamber, Glock bulge, case head separation. Like I said, it's not extremely common, but it's not a harsh rarity either. So if you shoot 40 cal, be kind of wary of that and make sure that you check the casings. Just make sure that there's no bulge in there. Because if it is a live round and there is a bulge there, I would throw it away. I wouldn't use it because it might blow up in your hand, and it might be worse than what happened to me. The polymer on my gun is fine, but it could completely blow that gun apart, and now you're out a gun and out a hand or fingers or something like that. So, like I said, at the end here, I'm going to add in this little video. It's nothing too spectacular. It's pretty much more funny, because you can kind of see I'm a little bit confused on what happened. But I wanted to bring light to it. The Glock bulge, and the case head separation in 40 cal. It is a possibility. It did happen to me, and it could happen to really anybody out there. So, keep shooting, guys. Now, I'm going to shoot the 180 grain, the round nose bullet. So as you can see, guys, it wasn't too spectacular, but it did happen, and it's just something to look out for. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it kind of brings light to a possibility that could occur with 40 cal. But in the meantime, if you need any gear, any apparel, any grunge style 511, true spec, Ranger up, etc., make sure to stop by squaredawaysurplus.com. Use coupon code IDaveMore10 for 10% off your order. We're also offering, obviously, our loyalty program and $6.99 flat rate shipping. If you're bored, stop by my Instagram at IDaveMore, my Twitter at IDaveMore, or my website, www.idavemore.com. That's kind of where I post the best of my photos. And like I said, that's really it. Squared Away Surplus, idavemore.com, and keep shooting, guys. But check your 40 caliber casings in the meantime.